Okay,
Aha!
looks like it's running.
It is, and this page will keep open because that way we can easily just when we're done we can just end it.
Yeah, we still need that one there, of course. Don't want to close that and have to go look in later, right?
Yes.
Oh, and there would be the Gmail alert telling me we're live, I believe.
Yes,
So
it could
that's
be. Yes, it is.
great because I have them turned on,
Yes. Yep.
as the listeners should do if we have any listeners yet.
Oh, that's what
Highly
exactly what
recommend
they need to do.
turning on your notifications.
That's what you need to do as a listener.
Please do. Tell you right when we go live, even if it's early.
Oh, yes. Yes. Although we're on time today.
We are, but I just mean like in
Yes!
general when we do. But
Yeah.
yeah, we are on time today, you're right.
Yes, we are.
And we'll get the Zoom going if you have the intro queued up.
We are all ready. Yes, we're all ready to go.
Fantastic. Okay, in 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so we will play the intro and get things started.
Yes, please.
In 1, 2, 3.
Live from the Musa Slobodian Network studio, welcome to the Ali and Makara Show, part of the Musa Slobodian Network. The show where the hosts discuss technology, their favorite songs, the books they've been reading throughout the week, along with some friendly banter along the way. Here are your hosts, Ali Musa and Makara Slobodian.
There's never a shortage of any of this, is there?
No, there's not. Good afternoon, everybody. It's Sunday, February 1st, 2026. New month. And we're back, of course. Doesn't it feel great to be back?
Oh, it does. I have to, I look forward to being with you and spending the afternoon in the studio. I don't know. It just doesn't get any better than this.
I 100% agree. There's absolutely nothing better.
And of course, when we get back to Monday shows, that'll be a treat too.
Yeah, for sure it will. Oh,
Oh, I had a feeling. We had a feeling we would do that.
we're usually not that quick with it, but today I guess we're 1 for 1. Live studio audience, wonderful, wonderful.
Oh yeah, the studio audience is here.
Yes. We noticed that when we were testing out the setup. We noticed that
Yeah, so take us through a tour here of that setup process and what happened. You get the
Well,
behind the scenes today.
yeah, we often share the behind the scenes, but this is kind of the full setup. So we were kind of testing out the audio hijack piece of things. So if anyone was on the audio stream a few minutes early and happened to have clicked on the page, because as you might know, it doesn't work if there's nothing live yet. So we were testing that out to make sure everything works with each of our setups, each of our mics, and Fargo as well for these sound effects that we sometimes like to insert.
Yeah, and this is really this is really see, this is primarily, this is actually, if you have been with the show since the beginning of January, you would know that I also have a PC here. And so, which I do use, and you and I have talked about this, but which I do use way more than I use the the Mac nowadays.
Right.
And to and now the only reason right now that I use the Mac is for now just to kind of these products, Audio Hijack, Loopback, and Fargo, are developed by a company by the name of Rogue Amoeba. That is ROGUE space AMOA as in Apple, M as in Mike, OEBA.
Okay, that's a cool name.
And they specialize in this type of Mac software. So Audio Hijack has been their flagship recording product for many, I think almost 20 years now.
And when did you start using it? I know we've used it for as long as we've had this show, and you've possibly used it for as long as you've had the others too.
Actually, I've been using it longer than that even, actually. When I first started using it, I think I bought my first copy. My first installation was back in 2015.
Oh, wow. What
But
were you using it for at that time?
just for I was just using it for simple recordings, and sometimes I would record something from my browser to something from my browser to my desktop sometimes. I would use it for things like that. And then I would, and that was pretty much all I used it for. And sometimes I used to use it as a sleep timer too, because it also has it has a timer function. So if I wanted something to start, a session to start at a specific time,
Mm-hmm.
I could schedule the session to start, and it would automatically run itself, and then I could also have it clean up after itself after it's done, meaning that I could have it close all the sources after it was finished recording.
Oh, okay, so that's the auto start and auto stop that we talk about sometimes.
Nope. Auto start and auto stop is a YouTube feature.
Okay, that's specific to YouTube.
Yeah. So if I go into if you go into there's an option there to auto start and auto stop in the stream settings when you schedule the stream.
Right, okay.
Now, I used to be a big fan of that. I used to be a big fan of it,
Mm-hmm.
but I moved away from it. And because what I found was if I have to test the sessions first,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't let me like it. I can't resume it again after it started and stopped.
Oh,
Well, I could, but then the YouTube side, I'd have to recreate the stream.
see, that's pretty inconvenient.
So it's better that if I want to do any testing beforehand, which we just did, by the way.
We did, yeah. That's where this whole conversation started from.
And it. So then, it allows, you do the testing beforehand, then go live, and then hit the go live button on YouTube when you're ready to actually go live.
Yeah, just doing it manually.
However,
However,
if you wanted to just test beforehand, like if you wanted to test how the YouTube live is working, then that wouldn't really be, it really wouldn't make that much sense to do it like that, because
you'd be starting it and stopping it.
yeah, although you'd have to reset it up again if you're going to start and stop like that.
Right, so it all kind of ends up the same way as if you were doing it with the auto start and auto stop.
Yeah. It's almost, but if you start live, it's better. If you start it manually, it's better because then it doesn't end the scheduled stream. You can just start it when you want.
Yeah, it is better. And I guess the point being there that if you want to test out the live on YouTube, regardless of which way you choose to do it, manually or with the auto start, you really can't.
Well, you could.
Oh, okay.
Well, no. The way you'd have to do it would be just to recreate the stream again. Now, but also that wouldn't make much. Well, if you have to create a new stream key, that wouldn't make a lot of sense either. Oh, and it's that time again.
Yeah, and just to kind of finish the thought, like it wouldn't make much sense to even have to recreate one, because if you'd scheduled it ahead of time and you then used it to test, it's like, why did you schedule it in the first place? I don't know. I suppose the point being that you can, but there's just no really good way to do it without having to.
Well, and I think that's just how it's just how YouTube has got it set up. I'm gonna actually have to. This is something I'm gonna actually. I'm gonna bring this up to them.
It's a good idea.
See if I can get some clarity on that piece.
Mm-hmm.
So so keep listening for that.
Yes, please do. And for now, we are going to head to a quick commercial break before we get into this week's book, which is This Team is Ruining My Life, But I Love Them by Steve Dangle Glynn. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to The Ali and McKara Show, which is a part of the Musa Slobodian Network. Stay tuned.
Recording stopped.
Cianity Radio will never give you up. They will never let you down, nor will they run around or desert you. So join Nick Astley for The Melting Pot every Saturday on CNT Radio. Hang on a minute. He's not Nick Astley. Oh, jings, I've done it wrong. Anyway, just join Nick for The Melting Pot on CNT Radio.
Looking for a sports podcast that covers sports weekly as well as gets you set up for the day? Check out Weekly in Sports with me, Scott McGregor. We give some shout-outs of the week to podcasts like this one and those who do them. Discuss the Blue Jays, Bill, Raptors, and more. To learn more, check out the Sports for Beginners Facebook page. Search Sports for Beginners.
Hey, you, why you looking so sad? Don't be so sad. I tell you what you're gonna do. If you got the vino, you pour yourself a bicchiere of vino. If you don't have a vino, maybe you got the panettone, maybe you got the panini, maybe you got the cafe espresso, but you fix yourself for something bella nice and you go to your computer and you log on to CNT Radio. And you listen to CNT Radio, okay? You do all that, you're gonna feel much better. I promise you. Alright? Ciao.
What a busy traffic on this Friday evening. I am almost stuck in this traffic for the last 40 minutes. And there is no way, I think, for me to get to the show. The CNT Radio Song Bank, which is going to start very shortly. It's one of my favorite shows. And my, what a way to wind down for the weekend. Perfect 2 hours of fun-filled music. And she has so many great features. Sound of Music, Undercover, Foreign Exchange. Name That Tune. And the big wheel that she spins. For Who's That? Or Where Are We? We cannot forget about the international stage. I have never come across such a great show in my life. I think I will have to press hard on my accelerator and go as fast as I can to get home in time. Wow! Wow! Look! I made it! I am almost there! CNT Radio, making your day brighter, one song at a time.
Listen to Cianity Radio, because that is where it's at, baby. And it goes a little something like this. Listen to Cianity. You're gonna like it. Check it out. Sienna has the best songs, the best vibes from around the world. Tune in now or you're missing out.
Oh, what a day of hard work. I am glad the day is over and I'm heading out straight home. What a beautiful day out here riding my motorcycle, and I'm sure it's going to get much better when I get home and listen to CNT Radio. Oh my, so many great programs to pick and choose. There is the Melting Pot every Saturday. Every alternate Friday evening, she has the Cosmopolitan Culture Club, and on every alternate Friday, She has the Song Bank, and now she has the Classical Cafe every Saturday afternoon. Perfect way to wind down. Best of the best music from around the world. Why not check out her website at http://cnt.wordpress.com/cnt-radio. I feel like I'm the luckiest person to have such a great source of entertainment. I can see my home approaching very soon. Hope you all tune in and enjoy the great shows. CNT Radio, making your day brighter, one song at a time. Hello? How are you, my friend? Why? What's the matter? Why feeling bored and lonely? Look! Look at me! I am always happy. The only reason? I can tell you, it's because I listen to CNT Radio. All the best shows you can think of. The Melting Pot, the Cosmopolitan Culture Club, and the Song Bank. There are also many more new shows to come. Please make sure to visit her website at http://cnt.wordpress.com/cnt-radio. Oh, now I can hear you more cheerful. CNT Radio, making your day brighter, one song at a time. I wonder if I could make it. It's almost getting to 8 o'clock p.m., and I am still a few more steps away from home to get to my computer to listen to CNT Radio's Cosmopolitan Culture Club. The best of the best music from around the world. Can't wait! I think I made it! CNT Radio, making your day brighter, one song at a time. Hey, would you mind if I tell you something? Do you know we have a radio station in town called the CNT Radio? Many people have tried it, and do you know that? They have just one thing in common to say. The best of the best music and entertainment we ever came across. Check it out on http://cnt.wordpress.com/cnt-radio. That's all I wanted to tell you. Have yourself a wonderful day.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks.
CNT Radio, making your day brighter, one song at a time. love books?
How about discussing books with others who also love to read?
Why not join us on the last Friday of the month for the Books Panel,
where we have fun, engaging conversations about a book selected by one of the panelists.
To learn more about the show, please visit bookspanel.ca. While you're there, subscribe to the newsletter so you never miss an update. Besides, it's free. Enter your email address and hit subscribe. And everything's good to go. We're back on air again.
We're good? Great. Okay.
We most certainly are. Let's just check. Yes, yeah, we're good. We're good.
Excellent. All right. 3, 2, and 1.
Recording in progress.
We're back. Allie, please feel free to start off with your thoughts on this week's book.
Now, first of all, I'm a big fan of Dangle. I sometimes like to listen to his stuff, the Steve Dangle podcast. But reading, this is actually his first book. And I really thought there were some moments there when he was talking about that kind of stood out when he was talking about the fact that he was going before he started his intern at the Fan, he was sort of talking about he wanted to work at the zoo, and he actually did end up doing that at one point. And
for many years.
Pardon?
For many years.
Yep. But during his infancy, but he did in those early days have that YouTube channel, which he was at the time, which I didn't really expect that he would hide that at the beginning. Although remembering too that YouTube was in its infancy at the time.
How do you mean that he would hide it at the beginning?
Well, there were times where he didn't mention it, where he... I don't know how far you got in the book, but there were parts where when he was going for... when he was either at the station or intern or whatever he was, or that and during interviews, he would during job interviews, he would pretty much not mention it, that he has the YouTube channel, or that he was putting content up there.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean sort of about the hiding fact of it.
But some places don't like that sort of thing, right? When you have that on the side?
Well, let's put it this way. At the time, they didn't, because YouTube was in its infancy.
And they didn't really understand it or what it was what it could do, right?
Yeah. YouTube actually came out, it first came out in 2005. And, but it's been around, but you had people sort of going in their early days, kind of, in the YouTube's early days of it, kind of just, it was one of those things that it was there, but I don't think anybody had expected that it would take off the way it did, or the way it has.
No, you're right about that, and sort of some of the viral content that really made it what it is now, or not what it is now, because it's certainly changed over the years, but what it became.
Yeah, and then it got bought out. Then it got bought by Google, and I don't know who the original owner was. But the fact is that Steve has worked. Is that he worked really hard to develop that and get that channel going. It's actually through with SVPN now, and I think he puts out. I think it's a daily show that he does, and it's hosted by Adam Wilde and a couple of others.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but I mean, I don't know if I can say surprised, but I didn't I mean, I mean, it was interesting how he talked about his time with the RBC Junior Hockey Magazine, hosted by Gino Reda. Gino Reda is also someone that I used to listen to that show when it was on. Actually, Gino Reda has also been around in the industry. I think he's still at TSN, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yep. But it's interesting to say the least, right? Because see, he and but just hearing about those experiences of this is a guy who knew that he always enjoyed his Leafs and his NHL, and he wanted somewhere to start.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to read his latest book, Hockey Rants and Rave, it's called.
Oh, okay. He's got another one.
Yep.
Interesting.
Which is more recent. This one I could tell had been written some time ago because he mentioned Dave Cadeau back there, who was the program director at the Fan, and he also mentioned the Jeff Blair Show, which was also a thing at the time.
Oh, so it's a little dated now?
Yep. Because Dave Cadeau is no longer there.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's still with the Hamilton Tiger Cats audio network. And Jeff Blair is there still, but he's now doing Blair and Barker.
Okay, yeah, that I've heard of.
With Kevin Barker. And Kevin Barker is actually married to Sportsnet Blue Jays reporter Hazel May. And also Brian Burke mentioned that in his book as well, that he mentioned them as well. Barker and Hazel May as well.
Right.
But I want to know your thoughts on this book, since I mean, it might have been a little bit interesting for you, not see, I'm very enthusiastic about sports media.
Yes.
And broadcasting in general. So, tell me, what were your thoughts just kind of learning about how the media industry works? And we've had conversations about, for those of you that are listening, we've had conversations about this stuff off air a little bit.
Oh yeah, plenty of times.
Oh,
I mean that in
a while though.
No, but I mean that in the best way.
Oh, I know. I know that.
but it's kind of cool that you framed it that way in asking about my thoughts because, and I think you know this, and the listeners would now too, depending on how long you've been listening to the show, is it is well documented here and in other places that I'm not necessarily a sports person. I can absolutely respect people who get really into it. I can respect the love of the game and everything, or games, but it's just not something I ever got into and understanding, right? But
And you know what? I'm going to actually stop there for a second. I completely, okay, I completely respect and understand that.
yeah, and I know you do, and
I do.
mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because generally speaking, there are not a lot, and I'm not trying to bring the whole blind person thing into this,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm just saying it to kind of shed some light on this, that generally speaking, blind people are generally not fans of mainstream sports, typically.
I suppose that's true. It depends on.
No, yes, it depends who, and it depends who it is.
Yeah, those who maybe have lost their sight later on, who still have a degree of it, right?
But now, see, I'm in sort of the same boat. See, I've never seen in my life. Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you the story. I think I have told you the story before, but I don't know if I've mentioned it on air here or not.
Yeah, whatever you're willing to share.
Oh, I'm willing to share here. Around on air, I'm. See.
An open book.
Yes. Oh. I became a sports fan, or an NHL fan and an MLB fan, Leafs fan and a Jays fan, and even a Kitchener Ranger fan back in those times. Just by listening to the games, just by listening to the radio.
Mm-hmm.
So, I always had my radio on during my days as a kid. Okay? Since 97, 98, that time, I always, I would always listen to, I always had it on, I would always listen to the games. I always enjoyed it. I listened to the games, and that's how I became a fan, just by listening to the audio of the games.
Right? That sort of thing can start from anywhere. Like, growing up like that, having it around, it became that thing for you, right?
It did, and most people, see, and they'll either become a fan because their families are fans, and then they're always kind of talking about the games with them.
Mm-hmm. Not unlike Steve himself.
Yeah. Yep.
No, and that's wonderful. I think having that as a major interest is fantastic. And like I say, even if it's not something that I know about and am particularly drawn to, I completely respect the love of it and the passion that people have, that you have for it. And with this book especially, like, we've gone gotten into a number of books where sports and sports media are prominent themes, right? But I think this one in particular, it's either that Steve balances it with so many other anecdotes and so many other things, or how effective he is as a storyteller that he makes those things so still accessible and interesting to those of us who aren't necessarily as involved in that world or who aren't as intrigued by it in some ways. But he is extremely entertaining. I can see why you're a fan of his. He's hilarious too.
Yep. Yeah, and that's, yeah, he, see, what he's done here is he's made it unique to him.
Yes, exactly. And it's not just sort of cut and dry, this is what this is what I did, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. It's very much, it surprised me, I'll be honest about that.
Yeah.
But no, he's fantastic. He's very good at what he does, clearly, and it made me laugh because there's this thing that he says early on about how when his parents read him books and things like this and encouraged imagination and such, he said how that made him very chatty, and I stopped for a minute and I went, oh, is that how that happens?
Yeah.
Because I could relate to that very much. I went, oh, that's where it starts. That's where the whole thing kind of falls apart.
You know what? We have to bring the studio audience back in here.
Great idea.
Our live studio audience.
Yeah, all that to say, I think it's a really special talent to have when you can make such a specific interest accessible and entertaining to the largest group of people possible, and I think that's what he manages to do.
Yes, check it out, the Steve Dangle podcast. I'll have to put a link to the YouTube channel.
We can do that. I know we linked it last week, so I can just grab that link again and link it in this week's show notes.
Yeah, the Steve Dangle podcast. And like, see, now, I mean, like, see, sports radio, see, I could see why he wanted to work at the Fan, where, I mean, now, like, nobody really now, the other side of it is, now it would be very difficult for somebody to get in there at the Fan, at actually both stations. Both the Fan and TSN 1050, because the industry is continuing to shrink day by day.
Mm-hmm.
And the industry continues to shrink. As with many, I mean, as are many others too. But you're seeing it a lot in. You're seeing a lot in broadcasting, because there's just so much. Like, there have been things that have come out of it.
Mm-hmm. All the cuts and things you're seeing, and
yep. Like, it oh, believe me, I actually, before I actually knew how this stuff works, I grew up listening to, so some of the talk show hosts I grew up listening to, and actually, These two names I'm going to mention are these two guys are not around anymore. They have passed. Are the late Wayne McLean and the late Jeff Allen. And I had the piece of I wanted to be the next talk show host like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that dream was. I don't want to say it was. I don't want to say it was shattered. But it was a reality check. It was a check-in of reality.
Well, and it changes, right? You were a kid. Like,
Yeah.
you can have that dream, but of course you don't go into it understanding all the mechanics of that.
No, but if you look at it, though, if you fast forward all these years later,
Mm-hmm.
we've done that now.
Right? And that's what even Steve talks about is kind of starting something up yourself if you want to get into it, right?
Yeah, that's it, and that's what he said. That's the best way to do it now. That's that's it. Yep.
And look where we are.
Yes. But you know, it's time to sort of pause here, and you know what? I have to. You know what though? Anytime and every day that you know, and you know, we always say this, but we are on this journey.
Together.
We are, and it just, and that also alone really makes it, and that makes it honestly that's what really makes it really good as well.
It does, hands down.
But I think but now you see, as people are coming out of the industry now, if they it's kind of some of them are either starting up their own things, or just or just kind of doing doing their things, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So before it is that time again almost here, but before we get into that time, what would we give it? What rating on air would we give this book based on what we've read so far?
Based on what we've read so far.
Out of 10.
Oh, out of 10. Okay. Honestly, for how much it surprised me, that's going to be probably an 8. Just from the way that he presents things.
That's pretty high.
It is, but it has been a really entertaining book. I plan on finishing it for sure. What about you?
I give it a full 10.
Yeah?
Yep.
That's a big compliment.
Yeah. Yep.
No, it is well deserved. I can see that.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yep. Love to chat Leafs with Steve too sometime.
Oh, that'd probably be an excellent chat.
Yeah.
Get him on your show. That'd be so entertaining to listen to.
Oh, absolutely. And I think we'd actually give him 2 trips actually.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, we'd give him a trip into this studio.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, keeping here in mind, it's one studio.
That's true.
It's one studio.
I understand what you're saying, like 2 different, if you're talking about the 2 different shows.
Yes, so this is one studio called
The Musa Slobodian Network Studio.
Yes.
But speaking of Leafs, I understand you have some stuff coming up this week, maybe Leafs related. Do you want to fill us in on what's coming up on the Ali Musa show?
Tomorrow, which is February 2nd, 2026, host of the Leafs pre-game, intermission, and post-game shows for the TSN 1050 broadcasts, Leaf broadcasts, Jim Taddy will be here to discuss some Leafs, Raptors, some Blue Jays. So, that and some NHL. That's going to be fun.
It will, for sure. What time is that at?
That is at 4:30 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. Definitely tune in for that. Any others this week?
Yeah, we do have David Schachter. We're gonna go with the second day that he actually booked into is Tuesday, February 3rd. I think that's at 3:30.
Okay, great.
That one will be a piece where we'll find out when we get to that day, though.
Yeah, I was going to ask if the date had been figured out yet, one way or the other. I know you said there were two.
No, and then we just went in and just went with his second option because we wanted to free up a slot anyway. So, I don't think he intended to do two like that.
Possibly not, no.
So, we went with his second option, so.
That makes sense. And we've got a books panel coming up at the end of the month. We do have the full month to get through first, but we will tell you about it here. On February the 27th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, the panel will convene again to discuss fan fiction by Brent Spiner. That'll be an interesting discussion, I think.
Yeah.
Well before then, though, we are back here again, actually on Saturday, February the 7th, 2026, 3:30 p.m. Eastern, as opposed to the Sunday, February 8th, due to some prior commitments. We'll be back for a Saturday show, which still technically falls within this week, and next week's book will be Born a Crime by Trevor Noah.
Yes, that's on my wish list as well.
Yeah, I've been sort of looking at that one on and off for a while now. I like Trevor Noah. Anything else we're forgetting? Oh, we have a Textravaganza workshop on Wednesday, February 4th, 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern. I believe this one is on Google Tasks, if I'm not getting my dates mixed up. So subscribe to all of the newsletters for the shows, for the network. Head over to the Textravaganza site. Just make sure you have entered your email in all of those places so you never miss any of the updates. We always encourage this. And we'll be back again on Saturday the 7th. Stay tuned, everyone. Be well and be safe.
Thank you so much for listening to and or watching the Ali and McCara Show. To learn more about the show, please visit the aliandmccarashow.ca. While you're over there, subscribe to the newsletter so you never miss an update. Besides, it's free. Enter your email address and hit subscribe right on the homepage. The Ali and McCara Show is part of the Musa Slobodian Network, where good conversations happen. To learn more about the other excellent programming offered by the network, please visit the MusaSlobodianNetwork.ca.